Hey folks, Twisted Christian here. Just want to give you guys a quick update on Zion Oil and Gas. It wasn't that far back ago where it was just at 11 cents, and we actually have seen this go from 11 cents to 30 cents. And people are speculating on, why is it going up? But before I get any further, I have to tell you I'm not a financial advisor. And one of the things that I do want to bring up is I've talked about a lot in making sure that anytime that you guys invest that you put in your stop losses. So say for instance, for some of you who bought at 11 and 12 cents, maybe you would have put your stop losses at 10 cents. Now you see where it's gone up to, it actually got up to 30 cents. And a lot of people are speculating that it could go up or it could actually come back down. So it could actually go either way. So I've already set my stop loss for this just in case it does go down below a certain point. Now we haven't heard anything from Zion Oil and Gas. There's no new updates or anything like that. Now one of the things I want to show you is what I believe right now, since we haven't heard any news. We saw a big jump and yet we don't have any news just yet. Now I'm not saying that news isn't coming. But I think there is another explanation to why the price is going up today. Now, I am on the Fintel website, and I'm looking at Zion Oil and Gas. Right, you can go to the Fintel.io website, and you can look at some of the information. Now, with some of the information I'm getting ready to show you, which is part of the issues that the stock market has when it comes to shorting, because information is not always accurate, and we may only be getting about 80% of the short interest info, and on this site you might even get less because some of the information you have to pay for. It's even going to show you the dark pool value. So a lot of the shorting that's going on right now looks like half of it is in the dark pool. Alright, so part of the short interest information, you can see here that it's actually gone up. The short volume has gone up recently, and it's coincided with the price rise in Zion Oil and Gas. Now you can see here that there's a little bit of heavy shorting over the last couple trading days, and has been kind of up and down before then. Now, one of the most important things that I want to show you is the fails to deliver. Now, fails to deliver is when an institution or individual fails to purchase back the stock when they shorted it. So a person or institution, they go to short a stock and they say they short 5,000, and then for some reason they fail to buy the stock back at the time that they were supposed to buy it back. And usually a fails to deliver happens when the price suddenly jumps. Looking at the fails to deliver, and you can see there's actually some days missing here. This is not all the information. You can see on 10/1 there was 1.779 million fails to deliver on Zion Oil and Gas. That's a lot of shares considering the normal volume for Zion Oil and Gas, anywhere between a little bit less than 2 million and 3 million. And on that particular day, let's see what happened. See, there wasn't too much volume around that day. And I guess these are what I'm looking at here is the days that it was actually reported. Right? But when you go over to AMC stock, you can see the in-between dates of all the fails to deliver. Fails to deliver, from my research and what I understand, after a stock has failed to deliver, they have 35 additional days to purchase back the stock. All right, so that's partly what we might be seeing here, because it looks like there might be some missing days, and that might very well have to do with the shorts. Yeah, since we can't see the information on those other days, we don't know exactly how many fails to deliver. Like I said, it's pretty accurate here concerning the AMC stock. So today we saw actually the volume was up to over 11 million. Yesterday it was almost 7 million. So that's totally out of the norm for Zion Oil. with the buying pressure, when people are buying in at 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 cents, and then you turn around and then you have these fails to deliver start to come through. So when I go back 35 days from November 8th, that was approximately on the 5th and 6th of October. And one of the other things I do want to point out, according to the information that we have here, again, we have some more potentially buying pressure coming from the shorts that need to deliver on their fails to deliver. So on the 13th, you go ahead 35 days from the 13th of October, and then another almost 2.5 million shares on the 14th of October. So 35 days from the 13th is going to be the week of the 15th through the 19th, right, of November. So it potentially could be a big week if those fails to deliver don't cover between now and then. It would be interesting to find out what the numbers are as far as these other fails to deliver, unless it's a combined report. We should see fluctuations in the price of Zion oil and gas between now and the 19th. The only way right now that we're actually going to be able to catch the shorts off guard is when Zion oil makes a positive announcement. That's when it's going to be over for the shorts. Now, I really don't know where Zion oil is going to go from here because of the information and then I'm looking at and seeing that there's going to be fluctuations. It could go back down to 11 cents. I would imagine that if it goes back down to 11 cents, many of you are going to be getting in. Because I know I thought that myself that it possibly could go lower. I have not checked the fails to deliver in a while, and that was something that I normally do, is check the fails to deliver. So in seeing that, because I made videos before on the fails to deliver with the Zion oil and to keep watch, and I failed to keep watch on those days that they did have a lot of fails to deliver. The well that they have right now is not viable, or it could be 50% viable. And I think most of the time you want a well that is at least 40, from my research, at least 40% viable in order to make any money off of it. Like the amount of oil that it can pump on a daily basis. So I will get into another video dealing with prophetically speaking about Zion oil and gas. But one of the things, folks, is don't be surprised if there is no announcement between now and the end of the year. My personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not sure if Zion oil is going to make some type of positive announcement as far as oil is concerned. My personal belief is that the well is either going to be viable or it's not. The well is either going to be viable or not viable. And depending on the viability of that well, partially going to determine what direction Zion oil is going to go into next. Because if it is viable to a certain extent where they can make money, right, because they got to be able to pay for everything, that's going to be the very beginning. It could be a well that's not very viable. The oil is there. They found the oil already. They can see it with all the 3D imaging and all that. So we know it's there. It's just a matter of getting to the oil itself and extracting it out of the ground. And for those of you who were really I'm pretty sure there's just from reading on social media and a lot of the people that I don't know that invested in Zion oil, they bought at the top. They bought at $1.80 and 50 cents. And they saw their investment go all the way down to 11 cents. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are, probably panic sold too as well. But it was an opportunity for everybody to get in looking at this information that we do see now. It was an opportunity. I know people who did. And my also personal opinion, with what we just saw with the Zion oil over the last couple days, I wouldn't be surprised in this fluctuations that it does go back down to 11 or 12 or 13 cents and then go back up because of the fails to deliver. In the update before their 5-month plan was up, according to that particular update, everything was running pretty smooth, and there was no indications really, except there was some delays, right? We found out that there were some delays later on, but everything was pretty much running smooth. And now we're at twice the amount of time it's taken them to drill this well. And maybe one of the reasons why they didn't want to tell people is because they thought the stock price was going to go down if they were to share, everything that was going on. But it went down anyway. It doesn't matter to me what the price is. So to me, it doesn't matter what the price is, whether it's 5 cents, 11 cents, 25 cents, whatever the case. I know at some point that they're going to find that they are going to get what they are looking for. And this is a future investment. This is a long-term hold. And for those of you under the sound of my voice who have heard me talk about Zion Oil for the last couple years, first of all, I told you all the shorts have been making money off the stock. Why not swing trade it? So by the time you get done swing trading the stock, instead of you just sitting and holding on 10,000 shares, now you're holding on to 100,000 shares. Because the only people that are making money off of Zion Oil right now is the shorts. And this is a long-term hold. If you care, this is one of the things, because a lot of people who are invested in Zion Oil, and they want Israel to be blessed, and they want oil for the future of Israel, not just for now, but for the next several generations, and they want Israel to have the oil to be successful within the region, because this is God's chosen land. If you really believe it, then you really need to be very, very patient, because if you're more worried about the price going up and down than whether or not that this is a long-term investment and that you are down the road going to make money from this investment, and that it's going to help secure energy for Israel, then you should not be complaining at all whatsoever, because you know that this is a long-term investment. When they went from NASDAQ to OTC, I think it may even got down to 10 cents a share. You could have bought all the shares that you ever wanted. And so there's probably going to be other opportunities. And if you guys see this stock go down to 11 cents again, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people getting in at that point. I'm putting in my stop losses, because if this thing does go back down to 11 cents or 10 cents or 9 cents, I want to be able to take advantage of that. And I don't want to have to put new money in when I already have money in there. And this is the other thing. We are heading towards the end of the year, and it's also a fiscal year ending, right? A lot of companies do hold off news till the beginning of the year. You got to remember, there are some breaks coming up in Israel, like it was last year. If many of you don't remember, they were on a 2-week break, I think. We may not see any news until the beginning of the year. Fiscally speaking, depending on how taxes work out and all that, sometimes holding off will benefit a company until the following year. But all that remains to be seen. In one of the updates that I did about how much money Zion Oil had, I think they had enough money to get through maybe December or January. So they are going to have to raise money again. And with the stock price being as cheap it is right now, it might not be so easy if it continues to dip, and then they actually need funds to continue on for the first half of operations in 2022. So they will have to do stock offerings to raise funds, because they don't have an income. They don't generate any revenue. So all that just remains to be seen. Those are just some of my opinions. Well, anyways, folks, I just wanted to give you guys this update and some thoughts on Zion Oil and Gas. I will do a prophetic video on Zion Oil and Gas, and just to kind of show you where we might be at prophetically. That's what this channel is about. I just don't look at the stocks from a natural position. I try to see what's out there and see who's talking about what. And I have a lot of great content by a lot of great different people that are talking about what's coming down the pipeline. So look out for that information. Look out for those videos. So that's all I have for Zyno and gas. If you guys like these videos, the support links are down below in the description. I thank you guys for listening. God bless. And with that being said, TC out.